Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Cliff Yates Show. As always, you are in the right place. And you know what you are? I'm going to tell you what you are. You are what you think about all day long. You are what you think about all day long. There's a famous recording by Earl Nightingale back in the 1960s that a lot of people have adopted and listened to over and over again. They have used spaced repetition to actually plant these thoughts and ideas into their subconscious mind, and it has changed their life and transformed their circumstances dramatically. And you have the same power available to you by thinking. If it's true, we are what we think about all day long. That was the message. If we are what we think about all day long, and we have total control of our thoughts and what we think, then we are the architects of the structure of our lives. We are the architect of the structure of our lives, and we have built our lives based on our thinking. Look around you. The totality of your circumstances and what's been created in your life is the total sum of your thoughts up to this point. 5 years down the road from now, you can be, do, and have whatever you want if you will think about it with your heart and mind together. There's a reason why the famous book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh in His Heart, So Is He. There's a reason why the words say, as he thinketh in his heart. The thoughts are not enough. It's got to be married with strong emotion implanted in the subconscious mind before those circumstances can manifest themselves in your life as their physical reality. But you have the power to do it. All of us do. That's including you. Look around. The people that won't do it, they're in the majority. You and I are in the minority because we're going to change, and we are going to take control of our thoughts. We are what we think about all day long. Whether you want to believe it or not does not change the fact that everything started with a thought. If you look around the room where you are, as I am today, on its face, it looks like a bunch of inanimate objects, but it's not. It's the result of creative thinking. The chair, the table, the freezer, the stove, the coffee pot, that microwave, the stand that it's on. They're not inanimate objects. They are the result of the creative thinking of human beings. Everything. It's been created first by the thought in their mind. So you, in fact, can create circumstances in your life by the thoughts that you have in your mind. In fact, if you look around to your circumstances right now, they're the sum total of your thoughts up to this point. And going forward, we're going to set the tone for what we're going to manifest in its physical reality in our future. Hey, if that doesn't excite you, leave the room. Get out of here. You're not part of my crowd. We are here as a community of progress, and I get excited about it because I look at what I've created in my life, negative and positive. Doesn't matter what you plant in that subconscious mind. It's like a fertile soil of a garden. You can plant corn, and corn will grow. You can plant poison, it'll grow. That's how our thinking can control our lives. And we have control of our thinking. I hope that excites you. And that's what this whole podcast episode is about, the power of your thought, and that we're going to think about such great things all day long. If we're confused by our future and our circumstances, guess what? Our outside circumstances will reflect that confusion. Our whole life, our whole circumstance is a direct reflection of our past thoughts. But let's eliminate our personal history and move forward from here, from right now, merge into right now. Too much time ruminating on the past will dictate that your future is going to be pretty much the same as it was in the past. But that's not you and I, because we take control of our thoughts, because we know intellectually that we are what we think about all day long. I'm so glad you're here and that you are willing to have an open mind, open heart, to take in new learnings and apply them to your life and then see those results. And in turn, that's going to inspire you to take more massive action that's going to result in a bigger transformation in your life. You know what? My hat's off to you. I am proud of all you're willing to learn and do. Barring an act of God or a tragedy beyond our control, we can call our own shots the rest of our lives. Barring some tragedy or some act of God, we can call our shots this way forward. Let's start calling our own shots in a great way. Let's start thinking big. Let's start thinking let's not think within reason. Let's think radical thoughts so that we can have a radical transformation for the positive results that we're going to manifest in our life. Let's take massive action in a positive way. We have the power to do that. And that's what I want to talk about today. That's what my whole channel's about. That's why it resonates with you. That's why you subscribe to the channel if you're listening on a podcast platform. That's why you follow. You leave 5 stars and you leave great comments. I appreciate it. Fantastic. We can know what it means to have peace of mind and to live calm, peaceful, successful lives. We can know that by the way we think, by the thoughts that we adopt, by what we think about all day long. If we look at our lives right now, we know that we are the sum total of our thoughts to this point. And guess what? Like I said before, 5 years from now, you and I, can both be and have anything that we set our mind and hearts upon. We can make sure that those manifest into our physical reality. But it's got to be heart and mind. It's got to be thoughts married with a strong emotion. That's going to make the big difference. That makes a big difference when you're trying to communicate with somebody. All the great communicators, it's not the words themselves. It's the heart behind the words. You can have 2 people say the same words to you, but the one who has their heart and mind behind those words, that's going to pierce your heart and make a big difference in your life. It's got to be heart and mind when you talk to other people. And it's got to be heart and mind when you talk to yourself. Self-talk can't be empty words, empty affirmations that you keep repeating to yourself over and over unless they're married with strong emotion and a heart. And you have now the knowledge to marry your thoughts with a strong emotion so that you're implanting that in your subconscious mind, because now you have the intellectual knowledge that is going to cause a magnetism of people and circumstances that are going to manifest your strongest desires into their physical reality. Not sometimes, not once in a while, every time it happens. Where does it all come from? It comes from the strange force, thought, thinking. Everything is creative thinking. Everything that's been developed, invented, everything in physical reality of our world started with a thought, thinking. And when we know this, it becomes very, very clear to us that a person's thoughts make or break them. A person's thoughts make or break them. We know that. So keep that in mind. How we think will make or break us. And so we're going to choose our thoughts. We're going to think big. We're not going to think small. It takes just as much energy to think small as it does to think big. Why wouldn't we choose to think big? There's infinite possibilities available to us going forward from today, right now. This is not BS cliche crap. This is real thinking. And I'm happy that you're going to adopt a new way of thinking started today going forward. And you may have created, as I have, many great things in my life have been created when I look back on the thinking that I adopted, which caused those circumstances and some of these current blessings that I have today were birthed out of great thinking that I adopted. dominating thoughts that I had in my mind that were implanted in my subconscious mind with strong emotion. And because I have a track history of that, it's easy for me to adopt big thoughts going forward. And I want you to do the same thing. The pleasure I get in having a positive impact on other people is immeasurable. I was interrupted today by a good friend, Pete. Thanks for giving me a call. Just at the right time. Someone who called to me and said, because sometimes when you're creating something, you're looking into a camera and you're not getting immediate feedback, then maybe it's not a live broadcast or a stream, so people aren't leaving you messages or saying things. Sometimes self-doubt could creep into your mind unless you guard your mind and heart against those thoughts that creep in and reject them. We sometimes may entertain some self-doubting thinking, and we don't want to do that. And so thank you, Pete, my buddy, for calling me and says, hey, I watched your podcast yesterday, and man, did that hit home to me. That hit me in a certain way. You know what? I could tell by your voice and looking into your eyes from your heart what you were feeling and thinking. I think, wow, holy man. You know what? Having a positive impact on other people, no greater joy. You can tell I start talking too fast when I get this excited about those things. But sometimes people call, message, email me at just the right time, at just the right moment when I really needed a little bit of a bolster, a little bit of encouragement. Although I don't do this for likes and encouragement, the pleasure really is in having a positive impact on other people. And you cannot. Once you adopt this, you're going to start serving other people in a great way all the time, 24/7. Once you adopt the philosophy and knowledge intellectually that you can't help somebody else without helping yourself. You can't help someone become greater, to become more, to think in a better way and create a better life without helping your own life. And once you realize that, you're going to be helping, encouraging, and building up and building together more people because of the return on that investment. It's certainly not wasted effort or thinking. And thinking, what it's all about. Thinking is the power that we can adopt. It costs us nothing. You know, a lot of people say success is hard work. You see people interviewed on social media. You know, what's the secret to your success? Hard work. Hard work. Not alone. That is not true. The world is full of people who have worked hard and have little to show for it. I'll repeat that again, right? The world is full of people who have worked very, very hard and they have little to show for it. So that is not the secret to success. Not alone. Working hard alone is not the secret. Hard work with creative thinking and solid belief that you can execute your ideas. That is the secret to success. Hard work with creative thinking and solid belief that you can execute your beliefs and ideas. That is the secret. You can put that together with hard work and you're going to get great results. Hard work alone is not the answer to success. World is full of people. They've worked very hard and they have little to show for their efforts. So we know that it's something more, a little more nuanced to that. Job said in the Bible, the thing that I feared has come upon me. You can learn a lot from the Bible. It's the best self-help book there is. God's love letter to us. You know, thinking is the secret to everything that we create in our life. And yet, so few people are willing to do it. Look around. You see them? They don't think. They drift along. They are pushed and pulled by the waves of outside circumstances. All the while, they retain within themselves the greatest power there is, which is thinking that can transform their lives in a dramatic way. That is power, my friends, and I want you to adopt it, claim it. It's yours. It's already done. Nothing in this world is created or destroyed. It's already there. We just need to discover it. And you can discover it starting today if you haven't already. And if you have already, I'm glad you're here, that you're refocusing. I'm glad that you're relearning. I'm glad that you're hearing things again that you've already adopted. You just want to connect with me in a real way, and I appreciate you. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Listen, my channel, my area of influence is still tiny enough that I will get back to anybody and everybody that leaves a comment. I'm still small enough that I have the opportunity to do that. And connecting with people in a real way, no greater joy. That kind of goes along with having a positive impact on other people. You know what? Never underestimate the power of your influence. You may think, not me. That's not up. You can let other people do that. I'm not an influence on anybody. But believe me, you are. Don't be the negative example. Be the inspiring model that people can copy to create their own great life. You have that power within you. This is an inside job. That's the exciting part. It's not out there. It's inside. I'm so glad you connected with me. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Join a community of progress. It's fun to fellowship, to be a part of a group of people who love to see what we can think and create in our lives and share with other people. Our fearful thoughts are just as creative and just as magnetic at attracting troubles to us as are the constructive and positive ones that bring positive results. Isn't that crazy that even our fearful thoughts, they're just as creative and powerful, and they're just as magnetic at attracting bad shit and troubles to us as our great thoughts and constructive thoughts and positive thinking ones that bring us great positive results. So it's what we think is so important. And when I discovered the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, that was really an eye-opener to me, especially into the world of the self-image, how important the self-image is. How we see ourselves is so important. We can never outperform our self-image. We can never out-create or outperform how we see ourselves, our self-image. So it's a necessity, it's a must that we continue to expand and express and build our self-image bigger and better today than it was yesterday. And we have the power to do that through our thinking. And Maxwell Maltz, in his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, this guy was a plastic surgeon. And he saw over and over again how he repaired the scars on people's faces and made their face beautiful. And yet they went out into the world and acted as if people were treating them differently, as if they still had the scar on their face. But the scar was mental. The scar on their face was repaired and gone. But the mental scar was still there, and so that's how they acted. They acted in regards to the mental scar, not the physical one. Oh my God, I wish I could remember the study where they sent people out, right? They sent people out, two groups of people out into the world to get the reaction from people. And they would read something to this people. But one group, they through makeup and they put a scar on their face, right? And they let them see the scar in the mirror so they could see the ugly disfigurement in their face. And before they sent that group out with the other group that didn't have the scar, they stopped them and they told them they were putting some lotion on the scar so that they wouldn't crack, while talking. And those people went out with the group that didn't have the scar. But the people that went out believing they had the scar, and I'm saying believing they had the scar, they came back and reported how badly they were treated and accepted by other people. But in fact, when those people said they were putting on a lotion to prevent the scar from cracking, they removed the scar. Those people went out into the world without a scar. But because they believed they still had the scar on their face, their expectation was created in its reality from their thinking, not from what the people actually were treating them like. They thought they were being treated poorly. that they were not treated with kindness because they were displaying a scar on their face. But in fact, they weren't. But it was their belief, their expectations that made it so. That's a great example that we can adopt right now. We can intellectually know how strong and powerful our thinking and believing is. Our tab, thinking and believing. Keep tab in mind. Thinking and believing. I just came up with that. That's not even in my notes. Sometimes things will come to our head. God in heaven will put thoughts in our heads. If we'll just accept our thoughts, sometimes we discount what we think. I was thinking of that drink tab, thinking and believing. Every time you see that tab, if you see that drink tab, I want you to think thinking and believing. I need to adopt proper thinking and believing. That's where the power lies. And from this point forward, you are going to have that power. If you haven't already, get that book by Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. And cybernetics is really an automatic steering mechanism of what cybernetics is. And he married psychological, how we thinking, with cybernetics. Psycho-thinking is going to create an automatic success system in us or an automatic failure system in us, right? As I talked earlier, our negative thoughts are just as powerful and as creative in creating troubles as our positive thoughts are in creating great things in our life. So think on purpose. Big thoughts, big ideas, big ambitions. And as I always like to warn you, be careful how you share your big ideas, big thoughts, big ambitions. Don't share those with small-minded people because they're going to poo-poo your ideas and thoughts and ambitions because they don't have those thoughts on their hearts. They don't know what's on your heart and what you desire and what you truly want. And so you have to be careful. Sometimes out of love and care for you, they're going to poo-poo your idea. But hey, you have a responsibility to our Creator to be creating in your life what you truly desire. Oh, that gets me fired up. Let's go back to some of my notes here, man. It's so important. No matter what the character of our thoughts are, they create after their own kind. Good or bad. No matter the character of our thoughts, they create after their own kind. You can't plant pumpkins and get apples. You can't plant bad thoughts and bear good fruit. Think good thoughts, bear good fruit. Think bad thoughts, bear bad fruit. There it is. Adopt it. You have the power through your thinking. And when this sinks into your consciousness, when we start to understand this stuff, then we start to grasp the awe-inspiring power of our thoughts. When this kind of thinking sinks in, we start to grasp the awe-inspiring power of our own thoughts. You have the power. Claim it, adopt it, adapt it, do, become, have. Get after it. Starting now. When would now be a good time? Your mind is at the wheel of the ship of your thoughts. A ship. A captain of the ship. The captain doesn't drive the ship forward. We're the captain of our thoughts that get embedded into our subconscious mind. A captain does not drive the ship forward. No, it's the crew operating in the engine room underneath that makes the ship go forward. The captain sends the orders down to the crew in the belly of the ship that drives it forward, just as we, as the captain of our thoughts, we send the orders into our subconscious mind. And the thoughts in the engine room, in the belly of our ship of thoughts that get planted in our subconscious mind, they move our ship of life forward. That's a great metaphor. Adopt it. Be, do, have. You have the power. You've been given the higher faculties of life. I get excited about the higher faculties. We are born with the higher faculties. God has embedded us with the higher faculties of life. What are the higher faculties? They are perception, will, imagination, memory, intuition, reason. All the other animals, as far as we know, they have instinct, and they were not born with the higher faculties that we are. We are graced with the higher faculties of perception, will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason. That's a gift for us if we will use them. We have the power. I hope today I've inspired you to think differently and to think big. Don't play small. And don't be an observer. Be a player and a doer. And if that rings true with you, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? Join the community of progress. You know what? There are no more gatekeepers. There's no longer what we can do. We have this internet, AI, everything that's available to us. What we can do, we know if we want to, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, and we can do the other. We know that we can do these things. Now it's if we will do it. No longer what, it's if we will. The will to do it. It's what we think about and do about what we think that's going to create a transformation in our life. Get after it today, right now. Subconscious. The subconscious will bear what you plant. As I said before, good thoughts bear good fruit. Bad thoughts, bad fruit. If you rapidly and dramatically alter your thoughts, you will be amazed at the transformation that begins to immediately take place in your life. So I want you to rapidly and dramatically alter your thoughts in a positive way. Everything you need is already within you. It's already available. You have it available to you. You can't hide your thoughts. You know, people think I can hide my thoughts and I can keep them secret. No, your thoughts quickly become evident. They become habits that crystallize into the circumstances of your life. Look at somebody's circumstances. You can almost tell how they think. Thoughts of fear, doubt, indecision crystallize into weak habits, and they create weak, bad results and circumstances. Thoughts of courage, self-reliance, and decision, they crystallize into habits that solidify into circumstances of strength and freedom. How? By our thoughts, by what we think. We are what we think about all day long. Earl Nightingale said it long ago. We are what we think about all day long. And if that's true, if we are what we think about and we have total control of how we think, then we are the architect of the structure of our lives. So let's take control of that today. Listen, I hope that resonated with you. You know what? You can't give out to people what you don't have. People have trouble giving out, expressing love because they don't have it. If they have love, affection, gratitude in their hearts, then they can give that. And let me tell you, that's in my heart, and I give that to you. I love you. I have gratitude for connecting with you. And please, I'll see you in the next video. You're awesome. You have, as Les Robbins says, you have greatness within you. All right, we are what we think about. When? All day long. I'll see you in the next video.